is JJK Phantom Parade. Finally, we are out of a deep slumber. It actually felt so long, but yeah, JJK Phantom Parade are back on the move. We've got our next set of release, and as you guys can see, it is a Momo pickup. That is right. Now, what's interesting is that these other artworks have been found. I don't know if this is game created or if this is artwork that others have done. I mean, it looks like JJK Phantom Parade artwork, to be honest. But yeah, Nanami looks absolutely amazing right here with the help of Fushigoto right there. So looks pretty cool. But yeah, illustrations for even Maki's been found. I don't know what's going on, but essentially it's the Momo that they've pushed. And maybe this is going to be something for later on. This is the Momo event illustration, by the way. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Nanami's next. I don't know where this has come from, but hey ho, it is what it is. So Momo is going to be releasing tomorrow, and we do have a little bit of a video. I have gone over the translation, so we'll go over that in just a second. She is a red typing. Take that how you will. The minute I saw red typing, I was just like, okay, this might not be it for me. But obviously, the one thing that we know about Momo is that she's good support. She's good support. So, not that red units need support, but here we are. But it seems that with all that she's doing, she is being a huge hinder to the enemy, being able to stun, darkness, and whatnot. So it looks like that she is going to be a very good support. But again, does red typing need this much of a support play? No, but here we okay, so I've gone over Momo's kit. So pretty much to break it down, the first skill is basically gathering, how should I say, you're basically gathering counters, like search counters if you want to call it that, and then the more you have, the more effects are going to be in play, right? So at the beginning of the wave, removes all effects granted to allies with the red attribute through information sharing, which is the move itself. So I suspect that is debuff removal, I have to say. And then from that, she'll gain one search. Now the searches is what you want to build up on Momo, because I believe if you have more than one, you'll get a Taijutsu and Jujutsu increase. If you have 3 or more searches, you'll get an increase on break damage, and then if you have 7 or more, then you'll give a special attack gauge increase. So those are the requirements on how things are working. So straight off the bat, just kind of a little bit of a buffer. So yeah, the minute you activate one of them, that's when your whole team will benefit from getting that Taijutsu and Jujutsu increase, of course, which is very nice. Going into the second skill, it is AoE 4 hits, has the chance to stun and as well as apply blindness, which I guess in this case is darkness, right? If you fail to stun or apply darkness, well, if you apply stun or darkness, you will grant yourself 1 sharing information, if we call it that. If you miss either of the debuffs, then you'll get 2 of the sharing information, of course. And from that, you will also increase your red allies' physical and Jujutsu. So Taijutsu and Jujutsu increase, and that's on for 3 turns too. So that is a pretty hefty of a hindering second skill, not to say the least. You know, I mean, well, I'll assume she'll be doing chip damage, but yeah, to stun, to hinder, and if you miss, it then converts into sharing information, which then comes back to leading you into going to do more break damage or alt gauge increase, of course, and whatnot. So it's not that bad with the bonuses that you can get with the stacking of that. And then again, your allies will always gain the increase in damage. So buffingness out the wazoo with this one. And then when it comes to the third skill, so ranged attack, 2 hits. Is this AoE? It is. Okay, that's fine. So break damage taken for 2 turns, so you get break damage increase, as well as red damage increase. So you get break damage increase, red damage increase, and then grant self +2 searchability and evade status for 2 turns and 1. Oh, okay, so she gets evade on the third skill. Okay, that's a bit. And then when it comes to the ultimate, AoE once again increases break damage, gives herself 2 of the search or sharing information, call it what you will, has evasion once again, and all your allies get a taijutsu and jujutsu increase of 3 turns. So essentially this is a full-on buffing supporter whilst hindering the enemy. Pretty much on the table it's kind of like the blue Momo, but more so on the hindering side, on the offensive side, as well as consistently buffing. So it's a pretty straightforward character, regardless of her typing. I mean, any typing would love to have her, let's be real. Would I prefer to be on blue typing? Absolutely, but we already have a blue Momo, so I suspect that was the reason. Although they could have quite easily made a kit of this as to someone else, so that way they can fit into the blue typing, because if I'm being real, I would have loved this on the blue typing, but yeah, she's a full-on hinderer. Now, I also do have the full kit here, just to make sure I'm not missing out on anything, so I just want to quickly run through this. So yeah, number of searches or sharing information, call it what you will. Yeah, so taijutsu and jujutsu increase, effect increases depending on the number of enemies searched. Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Something to know. So if there's multiple enemies, you'll get a bigger increase. So not only does it determine how many searches you've done, but if it's more. Oh, okay. So I thought it was gonna be. Oh, okay. I get it now. I mean, it's still stacked because it says 7 or more, so it's still stackable. But if it's singular search on a wave and there's multiple enemies, then yeah, you'll be able to reap the rewards a lot quicker, basically. Okay, that makes sense. When using the skills or special moves, Momo grants enemy search and can grant buff to all allies depending on the numbers. Enemy search is also granted at the start of the wave, so the buffs is almost guaranteed to be activated. Damn. Okay, well, that is huge. So wave start, you get an instant search ability, so that's guaranteeing giving you the buffs. And then with skill 2, you get 1. If you don't stun or if darkness fails, you get a +2. Skill 3, you get a +2. And then ultimate, you get a +2. Okay, so it doesn't go higher than 2, basically. Good to know. Skill 2, range attack, stuns all enemies. I'm assuming, to be fair, her stun rate might be actually pretty high. Or maybe at like 40, 50. If it's at 50, I'll be shocked. So we'll see. Momo's second skills are buffed to all allies while attacking the enemy. She can block enemy attacks by applying stuns and darkness, preventing allies from leaving. Preventing allies from leaving the team. Okay, that's a wrong translation. Basically, preventing allies taking hits. Okay, and then yeah, special move is also going to be the same in terms of increasing and buffing and whatnot. Range attack to all enemies increases damage taken. Red typing. Grants yourself evasion. Okay, so yeah, I think we've pretty much gone over and gotten the gist of how Momo is working. So pretty straightforward. Again, was it really needed? I mean, right now with where red typing is, I mean, we're kind of stacked, right? Because we just had Mahito releasing. Obviously, we've got Fushiguro, the Nuka support. Nanami, half year anniversary, he's doing his thing, of course. Mai is still in the equation of things. I was going to mention him. I mean, well, there's Gojo, but Gojo has lost his touch a tad bit. I mean, he's still usable, but yeah, I wouldn't say that he's where he was before, let's be real. But yeah, okay, interesting. I mean, it just kind of makes it so that it's a little bit more open with how Momo is being used. In terms of, I guess, how easy that she is in terms of running her as a support. I think it will just make things a little bit more straightforward, and with the amount of hindering that she does, again, you can't go wrong with that in terms of that kind of being like a bit of a safety net whilst buffing your allies up. So again, Blue Momo has been a huge character in terms of supporting the blue team, even till now. Let's be real, I don't know about you guys, but you know, at times I still utilize her, although Geto is kind of like more favorable, but Momo's still out there doing her thing. I mean, the green one was low-key the OG, being the SR version of her. You know, that's kind of where it all started, and then it grew to the blue one. Now we're heading over to the red one. So, but yeah, I honestly, just with how things are looking right now, I don't think. I mean, realistically, red really didn't need it, just with all that they've had, and obviously previously of the Mahito release. Although it'll be a nice addition, I guess. If you know, just because you've got more so on the hindering side of it. But again, I would have preferred it for not to be Momo, to be someone else, and then for it to be thrown into the blue mix. But then it would have been a bit awkward. Well, yeah, I mean, no, it could have worked, because if Momo wasn't thrown into the equation, then they could have figured something out with that new character, with their set, right? But anyway, that's kind of what we're working. Obviously, the percentage play is not being shown on hand. But if I'm being honest, for me personally, with where I mean, technically speaking, I recently just pulled the Fushiguro, of course, not that long ago, right? So I'm very content with my red team, my red units, and with all the supports that I have. So until I see the percentage play on Momo, I'm probably going to be giving her a miss, if I'm being honest. I might, obviously we get free multi to throw in, so you know, we'll do that and see how that works out. But I'm gonna keep it real with you boys. Look, she's a solid support unit. I can't take that away with what she's applying. She's hindering the enemy to hell and back, right? Can't take that away. She's got evasion, so she's got that survivability. Can't take that away. So overall, as a support unit, there's a lot going on with this Momo and how long she can stay on the field with all that she can do, right? Which is fantastic. And again, she's buffing the allies, which is again very, very solid outside of debuffing. That's just a personal opinion of mine and how I prefer more so on buffing than debuffing. However, again, like I've mentioned, with all that red has, it's not exactly a huge priority or a must. So it's more so for me personally an ease off type of character. But we'll see how things go. I'll see what her values are and go from there. If it is something insane, then obviously we got to do what we got to do. But as it stands right now, just going off from seeing a kit, how she's running and how she's going to be used, and seeing what red units already have, it's more so currently looking like a skippable character. But it all really depends on the value that she has on her kit. So we'll find out tomorrow when it all is revealed. But yeah, Momo's the next character. If you need a red support, and again for the global peeps, I mean, this is going to be somewhere down the line, God knows when. But if you are in need of a red support, look no further. Momo is here.